Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Shed. Right, been doing all kinds of stuff, so I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to give you an update. Okay, so update time. Here's the bike. As you can see, the back end's looking very complete. I keep saying, oh, that's that done. And it fairly is done now, apart from a few things that aren't done. So back wheels are on, exhaust on, hangers are on, all looking good. What I've done kind of off camera, which no one saw, was I've put the under tray on, which is like the mud guard, and I've put the luggage rack on, and I've put the new bodywork on. This was pretty bad. I had to paint it because it was from a breaker's yard, but it does the job. One thing on that, I'll just bring you around and show you. Because it was from a breaker's yard, it was a bit broken, and there was a bit of a broken tab here where that secures on. I don't know if you can see. I'll just put the light on, see if it will focus that close. You see I put a little bit of wire in both sides, and that kind of loops up over the bolt, and that gives it something to hold that on. So that works quite well. So yeah, I've done that. So yeah, the back end's on. Oh, I also got a chain guard and bolted the chain guard on. It even comes with the proper sticker for tyre pressures. I mean, like, you know, mint. So that's on, chain's on, everything's looking good. One thing I did notice, right, and I'm just going to come backwards here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera or not. If you look at that, the back wheel is kind of on the wonk to the rest of the bike. And I'm a bit worried. The subframe's bent. The rear subframe's kind of got a twist in it. I'm not sure. It might just be the wheels on the wonk. But the front end is so bent that I have got no way of sort of checking the alignment on that at the moment. So, I mean, if we look at the front, you can see the bend in the forks about there. It's pretty twisted, and the other fork leg is actually worse. So plenty of bent stuff on there that we need to sort out, and I need to figure out why that wheel isn't in alignment with the kind of rear subframe. Not the end of the world, but yeah, I'll check the alignment when the front end's all done. Talking about the front end, I think that's where we need to start now. So I need to drop the stand down, take the front wheel loop off, change it so I can disassemble all the front end. So that's job number one. Okay, so some significant work to do on here. Right, so both fork legs are bent, so they're junk. I could replace the chrome stanchions, but if I replace the chrome stanchions, I've got to rebuild the fork legs. The sliders are all corroded anyway. I've actually got another pair of forks that are bent over there for this bike from when he crashed it as well. So this is the third set of forks that are going in it. The forks that I've got for it are Lex Moto ones, which are a Chinese copy of exactly the same. So they're exactly the same as Yamaha ones, but Chinese. The last time I bought a new pair of fork legs, they said, oh, they've got oil in, ready to go and everything like that. They didn't have, right? So I've got to redo that. So forks off. I also need to take the yokes out. Yokes have got to come out, A, to check they're straight, and B, the ignition barrel, all the wires are ripped out of it, and they've got security bolts in, so they need drilling out. So I've got to rip the whole lot out, all the way down. Here's my dog. Come on, go. Come on, go. So yeah, I've got to rip the whole lot out, top yoke, bottom yoke. I'll grease the bearings while I've got it out. So it's a entire front replace, rebuild and everything. Handlebars bent, they need changing. Then the headlamp, and switch, everything. Right, so all this is coming out now. Right, hello and welcome to On the Old Bench Cam. Alright, so this is the top yoke off the bike. As you can see, I mean, it's a bit battered, right? This is where the keys all rub away at it. This bit of corrosion in here. Lock is, actually the lock is okay. They didn't force the lock, but they ripped all the wires off it, so it's got to be changed. Bolts all need cleaning. The forks are almost rusted inside the holes. I might blow a bit of paint on that before I put it back on. But before I can do that, I've got to take this ignition barrel out. So it goes in with 2 bolts from the bottom here, but they're the kind of bolts that when you tighten them up, the heads snap off when they hit torque. So as you can see, when I say as you can see, I'll just check you can see. I think you can. It's going extreme close up. Extreme close up. So there's the head of the bolt there, you see, and it looks like a rivet, looks like a pop rivet, but it's not, it's just broken. So I'm going to have a little go with, you can't get in, right? I mean, I can't even get grips in there because there's kind of like fluting at the sides. So it's either drill it or you're going to struggle to cut a slot in with a Dremel and do it. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to try a chisel first. I'll put it in the vise. I'll give it a tap around the edge with the chisel, see if they come undone. They're only M6 bolts, so it might just come off. Then again, it might be a massive fight and you might end up seeing me hacksawing it to bits and firing drills into it. Let's see what happens. Bit of a fight on this, so I had Stilsons on it and everything. Anyway, so lock all drilled off, completely destroyed, but it doesn't matter because it was destroyed anyway, right? So that's junk. The bolts here that hold it in, I've just been looking at it, and you can see the blue Loctite coming out of them. I mean, I suppose ignition barrels should be hard to nick, right? But this is really hard. So yeah, I've drilled them out, and I'm going to drill the bolts out properly in the pillar drill, and I might even drill and tap slightly larger holes to put the new one in. I'll do that before I paint it. That's a really good idea. So I'll have another fight with that, and I'll get back to you, see how we get on. Okay then, right, so after a bit of drilling, a bit of fighting, we've finally got the holes clear. This one's actually still got a bit of metal, steel in the top, but the drill went on the wonk, so I've got a fresh hole on that one. This one's bang on centre. This one worked really well. So I put an M6 by 1mm tap down it. It's gone all the way to the end of the flute, so I've got a good length of bolt hole for that. I've got the new ignition barrel here, so that's going to go in there, and that's going to go on there. I've got one very good M6 fix in there, one a little bit wonky, but that'll be fine. That'll be fine. The key bit is it has to sit on those two bosses in exactly the right place, because when it's sitting there like that, then to lock it, you got the ignition, the steering lock there, and that's critical on the alignment of that. So that alignment is critical. So that's okay. We're all good. So the new lock's going to go on there like that, very nice. So I think before it goes back on the bike, it's going to need a bit of paint, because it looks kind of terrible. I've got man glitter everywhere. So yeah, I'm going to clean that up, paint it, and clean up the bottom one, which is here. I'm going to clean that up and paint it as well. I don't know where I put the other bolt out of that one. Yeah, to come out for some reason. I'll find it. So yeah, and I'll clean the bearings up and get some fresh grease on those. So a bit of paint, a bit of cleaning, and then I'll put those back on. I won't bother filming the painting because it's a bit dull. I'll come back to you when I'm going to put it all back together. Okay, look at this. I'm all excited about this. Hang on. Actually, I'm going to get a cloth and just give it a bit of a wipe, just to show you just how shiny and lovely these forks look. Right, so shiny forks, shiny handlebars, shiny everything, and everything looks pretty straight too, which is nice. So yeah, that's the basis of the front done. I need to put the mud guard in. I just noticed they give you new bolts in these forks. Lovely. So yeah, I need to put the mud guard in because that's got the brace for the forks in it. Headlamp bracket, front wheel, brake caliper, and all the controls on the handlebars. So we'll do a bit of that, shall we? Right then, folks. Now, I was going to carry on and do a bit more, right? But I needed to stop and tell you all about this, right? So I got the forks on, wiring through, indicator wires through, front brake, no, throttle, start button, start button through there, which is great. Front brake light switch comes through there, lovely jubbly. Got these trick new Chinese levers on them, you know, all machined out of billet, which is lovely. New pair of brace handlebars, looks pretty trick. Here's the thing, right? Here is the thing. I put the levers on, right, and they're a bit Chinese, but they're all right. They're great. They're okay. Throttle fits okay. Cable slightly on the short side, but it's all right. So then I went to put the mirrors on. Now mirrors, one side is left-hand thread, and one side is right-hand thread. That's how they work. I thought that was the left-hand side thread, so I thought I'll try it. So I tried it, obviously tightening it, because that's, no, unscrewing it because left-hand thread tightens it in. So I turned it and it screwed in. I'm like, ah, got it right first time. Put the other one on this side, wouldn't go in. Oh, wow, that's a bit weird. So I double checked with the old clutch lever, which is here, and it's not left-hand thread on the clutch, it's right-hand thread, as you can see. So that's wrong. It's wrong, right? So I tried the other mirror, right-hand thread, screwed straight in. So the thread in there is so cheesy, or I don't know what, but you can screw left-hand thread and right-hand thread, both screw into it without a problem. I've never seen that before in my life, ever. So anyway, put that one in, right-hand thread, left-hand thread went in this one, absolute treat. All right, so this is left-hand thread, this is right-hand thread. So that's the way I've put them in. But do you spot anything that's wrong? Yeah, that's right. The mirror glass is this side, which is wrong. Right? You want the mirror glass pointing backwards. But to do that, there's no way of doing it. If you turn this round, right, then it's kind of upside down, inside out. You have to put them on the correct side. But if you put them on the correct side, the left hand and right hand thread is backwards. So whoever's made these mirrors on eBay made them backwards. So I've got backwards mirrors, and I've got left hand right hand thread hole in there, and I've got left hand thread hole in there. Oh man, I was so confused. But yeah, so I've got backwards mirrors. I'm going to have to complain to the supplier because that is just not right. All bikes are the same, right? Everything's off the shelf. That is cock ass. That is not the way it goes. So yeah, quite interesting. But anyway, I've got levers, cables. I've got a clutch cable to put on. All of these wires that are here are coming down to the headlamp, and they'll all bunch up in the back of the headlamp. I've got a new headlamp down there. I haven't put the front mudguard on yet. I don't know whether to do a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'll do a little bit more. I think I'll put the clutch cable on the front mudguard in. It gets us somewhere. I'm going to leave those mirrors there because they're making me incredulous. In fact, I'm going to take a photo of them like that and send them to the supplier. Brilliant. Okay, so done quite a lot today. So mudguards on, which is the brace for the forks. Did I tighten those up? Yeah, they're tightened up. Forks are in, nice black ones, lovely. Handlebars are on, levers are on, mirrors are on. Wrong way round. That's going to be an interesting conversation. I've put this headlamp on. This is the old headlamp shell. Right, the new one, as you can see, the back of it has only got one hole, but the original Yamaha one has a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. And I remember when I put this aftermarket headlamp on, I had to drill a hole in the top, like to sort of simulate this one. So I drilled a big hole in there. Now I did that on that one, and this one is all okay. It's in one piece still, so I'm going to leave it. And it's also got captive nuts, whereas this new one doesn't. They must have done a cost save. So that's in. The headlamp there is ready to go in it when I've done all the wiring, but all the wiring is in the headlamp, right? So I need to do that first. New ignition barrel. How lovely is that? Just remembered I haven't checked the steering lock. Steering lock, lovely. There we go. So yeah, actually I just noticed the keys even say Yamaha on them. Proper job. So yeah, indicators, headlamp brackets, headlamp, front mudguard on, all bits painted. The wheel is round the corner there, drying. Brake disc is there for it. That's going to go on there, obviously. So yeah, pretty good condition. I mean, pretty good position to be in. So yeah, everything's there. I think I'm going to call it a day for now. I've made good progress. I'm happy with the progress, and it's looking pretty trick now. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day. Next time I'll have new mirrors that hopefully will get sent out to me. I'll get the tyre on, wheel in, then I need to start doing wiring. Then we've got a big single episode dedicated to the instruments. Right? These are all smashed to bits here. Yeah, bad. Well, yeah, bad. So I need to go through those, make sure they all work. I'm going to replace all of the outer casing, straighten the bracketry that's going on that. So I'm going to build those on the bench. That'll be an episode. That'll be nice, and get them put on the bike, because then that wiring has to come down and through that extra hole I was talking about. So yeah, a couple of episodes in the pipeline. We're going to get there. It's looking pretty good. Tantalisingly close now. So yeah. Right, I'll catch you next time.